Voters will be choosing a new state Supreme Court justice on April 2nd. The two candidates are Appeals Court Judge Brian Hagedorn of Oconomowoc and Appeals Court Chief Judge Lisa Neubauer of Racine. Adrian Pedersen sat down with both candidates last week for coffee and a conversation about the race.
So first of all, I think this is one a lot of people wonder. How do you plan to set aside any personal bias and partisanship if you serve on the Wisconsin Supreme Court?
Sure. Well, that's something that we demand of all judges. I mean, every judge who comes to the bench has their own thoughts about the world. And so what we ask everyone to do is to set aside their law, to say what the law is and not what they think the law should be. In fact, I think that's the defining mark of a good judge. Not whether they have thoughts, but whether they know how to set them aside. And I consistently have.
There have been published reports, some of your old blogs, talking about your opinions, really, when it comes to social issues, especially homosexuality. Do those opinions still stand today? Are they the same today?
Sure, let me put those in context. So those were blog posts written when I was in law school, before I was even a lawyer, when I was a student. So those were 14 years ago or so. I have not ever led in this race with my personal moral views, my personal religious views, my personal policy views, because that's not what judges are there to do. Some of those posts have, quite frankly, been misreported. Some of the things I'm saying, I just didn't say.
And how do you want to set the record straight? What do you want to tell people about that?
Well, I'm not interested in relitigating those old issues. If there's specific questions, I'm happy to respond to specific questions, other than to say there's been lots of misreporting on those.
And you're saying regardless of your beliefs, people can be assured that you will be fair.
I have always done it, and notice there has never, ever been one criticism of me as a judge of ever putting any of my personal views into my opinions, ever, not once. So absolutely people can trust me.
How do you plan to set aside any type of personal bias or partisanship if you get this spot on the Supreme Court?
You know, I've been a judge on the Court of Appeals now for 11 years. I've been elected to be chief or appointed to be chief by the Supreme Court in 15 and again in 18. I have a very extensive record, and I'm not a blank slate. And what people see is that's exactly what I do. I don't bring any agenda, any ideology. I am so committed in every single decision I make to be fair, impartial, and independent.
Third-party group led by Eric Holder that's pushing redistricting is giving a lot of money to back your candidacy. You've said in the past you don't want special interests, you don't want outside money, so why do you think he's doing this? Why is that group doing this?
Well, I can't speak to motivations, but when I got in this race in July, I called on outside money to stay out of the race. I believed it then, I believe it now. I've been very consistent about that. I read about Eric Holder in the paper. So I'm focusing on my campaign, my ads.
Do you think this group Holder's affiliated with will expect you to rule a certain way?
Again, I can't possibly speak to anyone's motivations. What I know is that I'm getting so much support from all quarters. I literally had 8,000 people sign my nomination papers. I've had thousands of people donate money, less than $20 to my campaign. I am getting broad, bipartisan support everywhere I go.
WISN TV and the Marquette University Law School are teaming up for a debate with Judges Neubauer and Hagedorn on Tuesday evening. Mike Couchet will moderate the discussion, which begins at 7 p.m. You can see it on this upfront station. It will air live on WISN in Milwaukee and WBAY in Green Bay. Check your local listings for other airtimes. It'll also be live streamed on WISN.com. With the election just days away, even more new ads are hitting the airwaves. Our editorial partner, WisPolitics.com, is posting them and tracking the spending. You'll find that on the election blog at WisPolitics.com. Next, what state lawmakers are trying to do about poor water quality in parts of Wisconsin.